Bonjour et merci d'être ici pour une petite conférence de presse sujet de la conférence climatique actuellement à Belém, au Brazil. I'm speaking to a topic that is not top of mind for every Canadian right now because we're looking at the budget, we're looking at affordability. But I have to say that as a Canadian and a climate activist, I'm heartbroken that Canada is basically missing in action at a critical global meeting right now. Today, November 7th, is the second day of what was set aside by Brazilian President Lula as the heads of government meeting, the leaders' summit in advance of the official opening of the 30th Conference of the Parties of the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. So today was the day that the Prime Minister's office had previously said Mark Carney would be in Brazil to meet with other world leaders. As we've heard in the news, of course, from President Lula as host of COP30 in Brazil, this is the Truth Summit. As we've heard from UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, this is where we actually have to take accountability for the fact that the world is badly off target to meet the goals we agreed to in Paris. Those goals are not political goals. They're driven by the science. Canada played a lead role at COP21 in Paris. We were the first country to say we will commit to holding to 1.5 degrees Celsius, and that should be in the treaty. Il y a maintenant 10 ans que la conférence de parties sur le changement climatique dans l'accord cadre dans les Nations Unies pour réduire les gaz à effet de serre, pour protéger notre climat. Et l'accord de Paris qui a été fait à Paris en 2015, c'est tellement important. À cette conférence de presse, et c'est notre premier, l'ancien ministre de l'Environnement, Catherine McKenna, qui a fait les choses d'importance. Nous sommes à l'époque, nous étions un des groupes de leaders pour agir contre la menace de changement climatique, la crise changement climatique. So here we are 10 years after COP21 that took place in Paris in 2015, and we're absent now. This is the 10-year anniversary. This is the truth-telling moment, and our Prime Minister, who was going to be there today, has cancelled going. And he's also, of course, because of the timing of the budget vote, both key ministers in his cabinet, who will be there briefly, Minister of Environment, the Honourable Julie Debruzen, and Minister for Canadian Identity, Stephen Guilbeault, will go briefly at the beginning of next week, but they'll have to come back almost right away because of the budget vote. I was going to be going early next week and staying for the rest of the conference, but I might be the deciding vote on the budget vote, and even if I'm not the deciding vote, I can't miss it. And you can't use your famous voting app, which allows us to vote remotely when you're out of Canada. So, je suis tellement déçue avec les actualités que M. Mark Carney, notre Premier ministre, a décidé d'ignorer absolument la conférence climatique COP30. And I contrast that with Mark Carney, private citizen and special envoy for climate science, special envoy for climate finance, appointed by Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Mark Carney, as special envoy, attended COP26 in Glasgow and delivered to the world this great achievement, the Financial Alliance for Net Zero, the Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero, a commitment of $150 trillion from the masters of the universe, the big money, the people Mark Carney can talk to. They all signed up, and it's all washed away now. None of those trillions of dollars from the big banks and big investors that was pledged at COP26 exists anymore. I stand here. I'm not going anywhere. Climate activists have a voice in Parliament, and it's more than just me, and we're not giving up, and we're not going away, and no, climate action can't be dead. We have an obligation to a living biosphere, to our own children and grandchildren, to our society. Canada can have a strong economy, but not on a dead planet. This planet is on fire, and we are walking away from the danger. Maintenant, c'est le moment d'agir. Le temps presse, mais ce n'est pas trop tard pour protéger notre climat et protéger nos familles, nos petits-enfants. Ce n'est pas trop tard, mais c'est presque le moment final, le moment où il sera impossible d'éviter le pire. So for that, I hang on to hope. I am not going to be able to go to COP because my hope is that we'll be able, between the Prime Minister and me and his Minister of Finance and other ministers, to agree on some modifications to the budget that would allow me to vote for it. Because if it's the final nail in the coffin of Canada's climate action, I will never vote for that. Merci.